Yes, yes. I'm starting the recording now since I'm starting to talk or discuss the question. So since we haven't discussed anything previously, so the recording is on. So I hope you can see the screen. And as I told you, from the second paragraph, it has given us the clue, like I have underlined it. Library Information Processing System is going to be the system. It says National Information Technology Library, which is the NITL, provides ebooks to its users through an online system named LIPS, right? So LIPS is an online system. So it is a computerized one. So whoever the people interacting with the LIPS, people or institutions, are going to be considered as the external entities, right? So let's move to the second para. Now in first line, we can say National Information Technology Library provides ebooks to its users through an online system. So it is giving us some idea. NITL is providing ebooks through LIPS, right? So NITL, most probably the NITL is going to be an entity, and the users, yes, they are definitely going to be an entity because they refer the ebooks through the system. And the last paragraph explaining how it happens, right? So in the last paragraph, it says a person should submit an application to NITL to become a member. So NITL then definitely going to be an entity, and person is again going to be an entity, right? So I'm taking person as an entity, so which I'm going to put inside an oval shape, right? සමහර අය මේකට square එකක් පාවිච්චි කරලා තිබ්බා වැරදි, එතකොට ලකුණු නැති වෙනවා, right? So person should submit an application to NITL. Now NITL is going to be another entity, right? So person is providing the application to NITL can be illustrated using dotted lines. So what you are going to write at the middle of the data flow is the data that's going to receive from the NITL, right? Then සමහර අය ඉර උඩ ලියලා තිබ්බා, which is wrong. You are not going to have the marks, right? Data flow එක හරියටම හරි, data එක හරියටම හරි තෝරගත්ත, but the place that you have written is wrong. Again, your marks will be cut down. So person will provide an application to NITL, right? Or submit an application to NITL. And we are not going to write submit application kind of things. Right? Go and clean them out. Go and wash your mouth. Over there.
ඕකේ මේ පර්සන් කියන එක වෙනම දාලා පැත්තට වගේ සයිඩ් එකට මේ NITL කියන එක ගත්තොත් ප්‍රශ්න
නෑ නෑ වැරදි නෑ. ඒ කියන්නේ කොතන හරි පර්සන්
ඇරෝ එක උඩද ලියන්න හොඳ නැත්ද?
ඔව් ඇරෝ එක මත. ඒ කියන්නේ මෙහෙම ලිව්වොත් වැරදි පුතේ. කොහොම ලිව්වොත් වැරදි.
ඒ කියන්නේ ඇරෝ එක මං කරේ මේ පර්සන් කියන එක ඇරෝ එක භාගයක් දාලා මේ NITL එක උඩ තියෙන්නේ. එතනට පොඩ්ඩක් ඩිස්ටන්ස් තියලා ලිව්වේ මැද්දෙන්.
ඔව් ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයා මෙහෙම ලිව්වා නම්
ගැප් එකක් තියලා.
ඔව්.
ඔන්න ඕකට සයිඩ් ඇරෝ එකක් දාව ඔය විදිහට.
ඔය විදිහට. දැන් මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙන්නේ පුතේ entity to entity flow එකක් නිසා ඔයා මේක dotted lines වලින් පෙන්නන්න ඕනේ. straight line කියන්නේ දැන් මේක consider කරන්නේ straight line කියලා. මේක මෙහෙම dotted line වෙනවා කියන එක indicate කරන්න ඕනේ.
හරි සර්.
entity to
dotted line අනිවාර්යයෙන් නේ.
ඔව් entity to entity නම් dotted line. entity එකේ ඉන්න system එකට straight line එන්නේ.
හරි සර්.
Right? Okay, so person is submitting an application to NITL to become a member of the LIPS, right? So we have captured this. Person should submit an application to NITL. That is one thing that we have to capture. So become a member of an LIPS. It is illustrated in the question. Then system question එක ආවම එක සැරේ අපිට මේක කියවගෙන ගිහිල්ලා කියවගෙන යන ගමන් ඇඳගෙන ඉවර කරන්න බෑ. මම මෙහෙම අඳින්නේ මම මේ question එක දැන් මේ වෙනකොට 10 12 වතාවක් ඕගොල්ලොත් එක්කම කියන්නේ ළමයි එක්කම කරලා තියෙනවා. ඊට වැඩියෙන් ස්ටඩි කරලා තියෙනවා. So මට මතකයි කොහොමද මේක වෙන්නේ කියන එක. Right? But when it comes to you, when you are receiving something like this, first read it carefully. පළවෙනි දේ හොඳටම කියවන්න. හොඳට හිමිහිට කියවන්න. එතකොට ඔළුවේ ඔයගලන්ට ඇඳෙනවා මොකක්ද සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ කියන එක. Right? Then what you are going to do is you read it for the second time and then you start drawing the structure. Right? එතකොට දෙවෙනි සැරේ කියවල ඉවරනකොට structure එකක් ඇඳෙයි. ඊට පස්සේ ඒක check කරගන්න ඕනේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ හරියට මේක ඇඳිලාද කියලා third time කියව. එතෙන්දිත් සමහරලාට miss වෙච්ච දේවල් අහුවෙන්න පුළුවන්. Right? So when it comes to the DFD question, like reading it for 3 times is a must. ඒ කියන්නේ අර මම කියපු methods වලට. Right? Maybe it can go beyond that. Right? So you are given the time, so take your time and do it. මොකද මේ වගේ ප්‍රශ්න වලට ලකුණු අරගන්න හරිම ලේසි. Right? Okay, so the NITL, the next sentence, the NITL evaluates the application and enters into the LIPS. Now it says NITL evaluates. We can't represent the evaluating process into the system. Evaluates the application and enters into the LIPS. Enters කියන තැන තමයි අපිට වැදගත් වෙන්නේ. Enters into the LIPS. So NITL entity enter in the evaluated application to the LIPS. So when you are writing the application, it's better you say evaluated application. Right? Evaluated application කියන්නේ evaluate කරන ලද කියන අදහස. Right? It is not an activity. Right? Okay. Then if it is approved, LIPS if it is approved, full stop. මෙතන තමයි sentence එක ඉවර වෙන්නේ. කියන්නේ approve නාම මෙතන evaluated කියනට වඩා හොඳ වචනේ approved කියන එක. මොකද approved උනේත්නේ application එක LIPS එකට දානවා කියලා කියන්නේ evaluate කරනවා. evaluate එකෙන් evaluation එකෙන් approve වුණොත් LIPS වලට දානවා. So evaluated application කියනට වැඩිය වඩා හොඳ approved application කියන එක. Right? Okay, so then after entering the application data, LIPS issue an activation code to NITL. So that is critical. LIPS issues an activation code to NITL. Right? So to make a approved application. So LIPS issued activation code to NITL. So I'm taking activation code right over here. Put the diagram so we can see it. Activation code. So yes, here comes the activation code to the NITL, which in turn passes to the relevant person. So activation code is again passed to the relevant person. So activation code, again entity is passing something to entity. So it's going to be dotted lines. Activation code. Once the activation code is received, the person becomes a member of LIPS. This is the place that you were deceived in most of the times. දැන් මෙතනදි කියනවා activation code එක හම්බුනාම person කියන කෙනා member කෙනෙක් බවට පත් වෙනවා කියලා. So each person and the member are going to be two entities, or can we maintain the member just by using the person entity. Now, in that case, what we have to think is, can a person do all the things or do all the data exchanges where a member can? Member ට කරන්න පුළුවන් හැම එකක්ම person ට කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? එහෙමනම් දෙන්නම එක්කෙනෙක්. But definitely person may not be able to person may not be able to do, all the persons may not be able to do what all the members can perform, right? කියන්නේ හැම පුද්ගලයෙකුටම හැම සමාජිකයෙක්ම කරන දේවල් කරන්න බැරි වෙනවා. මොකද application එක approve නොවුනොත් that person is always going to be a person, not a member. Only members will be able to do some other task with the LIPS for later, right? So person and member are going to be two separate entities. So in that case, we have to introduce a new entity called member. Now, this member has the activation code. The activation code එක හම්බුනාම තමයි යා member වෙන්නේ. So then, once the activation code is received, a person becomes a member of LIPS. A member can obtain his or her username. So obtain his or her username and password by providing the activation code to LIPS. So username and password is obtained from the LIPS. So if you want, you can write the username and password in one particular line, or you can take one line for username and one line for password. Nothing is going to be wrong, right? I'm going to write username and password in one particular line. So username and password is taken by the LIPS towards user. How they are going to take it? By providing the activation code to the system. So this activation code is going to go into the system. So activation code is given, username and password is taken or obtained. And then it says, so we have matched the obtained username and password and providing the activation code. A member can subsequently access ebooks by entering his her username and password to the libs. So a member can subsequently access ebooks. So accessing ebooks means member is referring the ebooks. So ebooks will flow to the member. And how he is going to refer those? By entering his or her username and the password. So that means username and password is going to be provided to the LIPS. And this is going to be the complete DFD that you should be in your book. හරි දැන් වැරදිච්ච තැන් හොයාගන්න ඇයි වැරදුනේ කියලා බලාගන්න diagram එක complete කරගන්න, right? And the people who are trying the 2016 one yet, right, I'll give you another 10 minutes for you to complete. Now it's 5:47, right? So yeah, I will be looking into this by 6 o'clock, the 2016 one. So complete this for any mistakes and try the 2016. I will be starting that by 6. right මිහින් yeah 2016 එක ඔව් හම්බුණා කොබලමු ස්ටුඩන්ට් okay ඔව් මෙහින් ඒකේ ඇරෝස් ටික මිසින් මට ඇරෝස් එච්චර පැහැදිලි නැහැ ඔව් ගොඩක් ඒවා අල්ලගෙන තියෙනවා බට් සමහර ඒවා හම්බෙලා නෑ පුතේ ඔයාලට. තව ටිකක් බලන්න. හොඳයි it's a good effort right. so ආයිසරක් චුට්ටක් බලන්න සමහර තැන් ඉස්සරහ තියෙනවා ඊතල හරියට දාගන්න හරි පැත්තට. right. right. හරි ජිනාන්ගේ බලමු. ද පොඩි එක්කෙනා කෑ ගහනේ වැහි ඕගලන්ට පොඩ්ඩක් ඉවසගෙන ඉන්න වෙනවා. right ජිනානි දුව මම බලන්නම් ආන්සර් කොහොමද කියලා පොඩ්ඩක්. yes Jinani, that's correct, well done. Right, is there anyone still doing the question? If there is still anyone, just indicate me, otherwise we can discuss the question. right, ළමයි මට විනාඩියක් දෙන්න. right, මිනිති දුව, let me see your answer too. Yes, okay, right, okay, yes, yeah, Minidu, I think it's okay. Right, let's see when we are doing the thing. I cheer. Right, so I'm going to take the question, this particular place. Right. My whiteboard is stucking. Just give me a second, people. Charuka, clear the පුතේ කරගෙන ගියපු ටික. කුෂානි, නිර්මාණ මිහින් වැරදිච්ච තැන් ටික අල්ලගත්තද කලින් එකේ?
ඔව් සර්.
right, right, okay. Now this question, draw a context diagram to show operation of the online assignment management system described below. So they have directly said online assignment management system. So it's going to be a system. Right. It's here. Okay. Right. So the system can be taken as online assignment management system. This is the one. So they say describe below adhering to the standard of structure system analysis and designing methodology. So it is SSADM, which we have discussed through the lesson. And they say clearly indicate external entities and data flows of your diagram. State any assumptions that you have made. So it's the same way of asking the question, right? So it says the National University of ICT, NUICT in short form, they say conduct distance learning programs. The students of NUICT are continuously assessed through the online assignment. The student of NUICT use an online assignment management system called NetAssign to download assignment and upload answer script. Okay, so now we clearly know the online assignment management system, which is called the Net Assist, right? Yeah, NetAssign, yes. Have they said it in the very starting point about the NetAssign? Yeah, the system, yes. Here they say NUICT online assignment management system called NetAssign to download assignment, yes. So මෙතනින් තමයි අපිට system එකේ නම හොයාගන්න වෙන්නේ. NetAssign කියලා තියෙනවා එතන. Right, in the third sentence, the student of NUICT use an online assignment management system called NetAssign to download assignment and upload answer script. Right? So right, so this is going to be right, so this is going to be the system NetAssign, right? And like from this point onward, like after they in the sentence that they are talking about NetAssign, they are talking about downloading assignments and upload answer script. So it says the students of NUICT use an online assignment management system called NetAssign to download assignments and upload answer scripts. So that means student is going to be a clear entity, right? So student, clearly it's going to be an entity, right? And lamay tapparak inna. Sorry for the disturbance, people. So the students, they download assignment and upload answer scripts. So we are not going to say downloading and uploading things. So assignments are taken from NetAssign and answer scripts are uploading. That means given to the NetAssign, right? the examiners use NetAssign to upload assignments and download answer script. Upload assignments and download answer scripts. So students were entity, and here the examiners. Now, when it comes to the entities, it should be in singular words, right? So examiner is going to be an entity. So it examiners will upload assignments, then only the student will be able to download it, right? So assignment will be here, and they download the answer script, which is given by the student. Right? Once the answer script are marked, the examiners enter marks into the NetAssign. So answer script will be marked by the examiners. So then examiners enter marks into the NetAssign. So there is another thing that the examiner is going to give, which is the mark. So it is given to the NetAssign. The student can view only the grades determined by the NetAssign. So once the mark is given, NetAssign will determine the grade, and that grade will be able to seen by the students. So it's going to be grade which is given to the students by the NetAssign, right? So student can view only the grades. To use NetAssign, both examiners and student must provide authentication details to the system. Provide authentication details to the system, both examiners and students.
Excuse me, sir.
Over there.
සර් මේ මං ගත්තේ මේ assignments and answer scripts කියන එක එක arrow එකකට ගත්තේ. ඒක වැරදිද?
ඒක වැරදි වෙන පුතේ. මොකද entities දෙකකටනේ පුතේ යන්නේ.
හරි
NetAssign
සර්.
එකෙන් තේරුණාද? එතකොට
ඔව්.
දෙකක් විදිහට එන්න ඕනේ.
හරි
Right?
සර්.
Then authentication detail. දිග වැඩි. Authentication details is given by the examiner as well as from the students when they are logged into the system. Right, okay, Charuka. Right. Now, the authentication details are provided by NUICT to its students and examiners. Now, that is an important thing. Authentication detail make it. Now, the last one says authentication details are provided by the NUICT to its students and examiners. Now, in that case, NUICT becomes an entity which provides the authentication details to the student and the examiners. So to show that, we need a new entity called new entity called NUICT. And from that, dotted lines will be gone to the student and to the examiner, indicating authentication details. Again, authentication detail dena එක තමයි එතනදී අපි ඇඳලා පෙන්නන්නේ. Right? So NUICT කියන කෙනා entity එකක් වෙනවා. So authentication details it is given to the student and authentication details are given to the examiners. එතකොට මේගොල්ලන්ට දෙන authentication details net sign දැනගෙන ඉන්න ඕනේ මේගොල්ලන්ට login එක approve කරන්න නම්. So that authentication detail must be provided to the net sign as well. ඒක straight line එකක්. මේක dotted line නෙවෙයි. Right? Okay. So have the corrections, people. I'll give you 2 minutes.
Sir? Sir?
ජිනානි තප්පරයක් ඉන්න දුව.
Hi.
ඔපතේ
Sir, අර NUICT එකෙන් students ලටයි examiners ලටයි යන details අයි කඩිරි වලින්
entity to entity දුව අපි අඳින්නේ කඩේරි වලින්. entity එකට ඉඳලා entity එකකට data flow යන එක අපි indicate කරන්නේ කඩේරි වලින්. entity to system යන එක තමයි straight line වලින්. අපි අර කලින්
ඒ හින්දා තමයි net assign එක straight line නේ.
අන්න right. straight net sign එකයි NUICT එකයි straight line උනේ ඒකයි. ඒක කෙලින්ම entity to system. entity to entity තමයි දුව dotted line.
හරි sir, thank you.
Right, okay. Okay, so people, are we done? Can we go to the other part? Is there anyone still writing? Let me can you indicate? Right. Okay, so we are going to do the next extraction of this particular thing. All right, let's go to the note. Now, Right. So I'm going to the same case study that we referred last time. දොලපතාල ඔකොල මෙතන මේ ඩේට ෆ්ලෝ එක යටින් මම ගිසති කිව්වද කියලා මට මතක නෑ ඩොටඩ් ලයින්ස් වලින් උදාහරණයක් ලියාගන්න කියලා කියන්නේ entity to entity flow වෙනකොට dotted lines පාවිච්චි කරන්න කියන එක right ඒක චුට්ටක් ඉන්ඩිකේට් කරගත්තා නම් වටිනවා right මම ඒක මෙතන ස්ක්‍රීන්ෂොට් එකක් අරන් හදන්නම් right අපි අද question එකේ තිබ්බ එකක්ම ගමු student assignment teacher මේ විදිහටත් එක ෆ්ලෝ එකක් ලියා ගන්න. නැත්නම් ඔකේ dotted line ගැන මම කතා කරලා නැහැ. දැන් මේ question එක කරනකොට වැදගත්ම දේ තමයි මම ඔයගලන්ට මාකින් ස්කීම් එකක් චුට්ටක් පෙන්නන්නම්. ඒක ඔයගලන්ට වැදගත් වෙයි බලන එක. ලකුණු කොහොමද හම්බෙලා තියෙන්නේ කියන එක. Right, so this is the 2015 marking scheme. Yeah, so see how the marks are given. Like 1 mark for each flow, 1 mark for each entity, 1 mark for system LIPS, and 2 marks are given separately for the activation code flowing through NITL to person and the membership application or the application flowing through person to NITL, right? ඊළඟට person කියන entity එක දැම්මට ඒකට වෙනම ලකුණු දෙකක් දීලා තිනවා. ඒ කොටසට ලකුණු 6ක්. Right? And look at what they are saying. Strictly follow standard notation. Right? Data flows between external entities should be specified with dotted lines. Right? And this is the marking scheme of 216. And yeah. And this is how it happens. Let me rotate it for you. Oh, there's the rotate option. Okay, save that. Right. So here what they have said is 1 mark for each flow and each entity. Right. So again, what may wage question එකක් ආවොත් the advantage is මොකක් හරි එක තැනක් වැරදුනොත් එක ලකුණයි කැපෙන්නේ. Right. ඒ නිසා මේ වගේ එකකින් ස්කෝර් කරගන්න හරි ලේසි. එකතු කරගන්න හරි ලේසි දේවල්. Right. So don't like නේද අතෑරලා දාන්න යන්න එපා. Right. Okay. So we are going to go to the same scenario. Now, last time we discussed about the context diagram, how the things are happened with the system involving the external entities, right? So we had only one external entity regarding this scenario. It's the customer. එතකොට මේකෙ සිද්ධ වෙච්ච දේ පොඩ්ඩක් මතක් කරොත් නේද? Customer is receiving a catalog. Then customer will place an order. Then customer will receive an invoice with the details of the order and the delivery dates and all these things. And then the goods will be prepared by the company and sent it to the customer with a delivery note. And once the goods are received, the customer is doing the payment and he will be receiving a receipt regarding the payment. That is how the things happen. And that's why we draw a context diagram according to that particular scenario. Then when it comes to the level 1 DFD, so like after the context diagram, we refer the data flow diagram as lower level DFDs, right? So level 1 DFD is going to extract this good order system, the square, much detailed manner, right? මේ good order system එක ඇතුලේ මොකද වෙන්නේ කියන එක තමයි දැන් දිගෑරෙන්න ගන්න. So this rectangle, which we call the good order system, is going to expand. But remember, the data flows which has happened externally towards system and from the system is never going to change. Right? ඒ කියන්නේ මේ entities වලින් system එක ඇතුළට ආපු ඊතලවත් system එකෙන් එළියට ගියපු ඊතලවත් කොයිම වෙලාවකවත් වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නැහැ lower level diagram එක හැදුණා කියලා. හැබැයි මේ ඇතුලේ right මේ good order system එක ඇතුලේ ඔයාට තව අලුතෙන් මේ වගේ මේවට අපි කියනවා processors කියලා මේ හැඩෙන් ඇඳලා තියෙන දේවල් වලට ඊට පස්සේ මේ වගේ data stores කියලා જાති එන්න පුළුවන්. ඒවා ඇතුලේ අලුතෙන් data flows සිද්ධ වෙන්න පුළුවන්. right? එතකොට මේ ඇතුලේ දේවල් වැඩි වෙන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි එළියේ තියෙන්නේ යම් කිසි ඊතල ප්‍රමාණයක්ද ඒක අඩු වෙන්නෙත් නැහැ වැඩි වෙන්නෙත් නැහැ. right? Okay, now the thing is how we are going to make this up to us. So to do that, we have to recognize what are the main processes happens in this scenario. මේ scenario එකේ වෙන major processes මොනවද කියලා අපි අඳුන ගන්න ඕනේ. Now we discussed this is a goods ordering system. So customer will order something and customer will receive it. So if you are looking at the system aspect, system එක පැත්තෙන් ඉඳලා හිතුවොත් අපිට processors ටික ගැන හිතා ගන්න we have to think within the system. System එක ඇතුලේ ඉඳලා අපි හිතන්න ඕනේ මොකක්ද සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ කියලා. මොකද අපි system එක ඇතුල තමයි දැන් expand කරන්න හදන්නේ. Right? So if you like go into the system and think what is happening actually here, you can figure out there is a process of ordering something. The goods order කරන සිදුවීමක් තියෙනවා and goods deliver කරන සිදුවීමක්. right? එතකොට ඒක majorly payment process එක කියලා අරගන්නත් පුළුවන්. right? මොකද මේ scenario එක ඒගොල්ලෝ අරගෙන තියෙන payment process එක කියලා. So goods order වෙන process එකක් තියෙනවා, ඒ goods deliver වෙන process එකක් තියෙනවා. Right? So those are the two major processes that we can recognize in this scenario. දෙකයි තියෙන්නේ. Order කරන process එකක් තියෙනවා, deliver කරන process එකක් තියෙනවා. Those are the two processes that we can find. So by finding that fact, we are going to create an intermediary diagram by connecting the context level diagrams data flows into the corresponding processes. Right? එතකොට අපි මේ processes දෙක අඳුනගත්තයින් පස්සේ අපි ඒ process දෙක අඳිනවා. දැන් අපේ අර ලොකු box එක system එක තනියෙන් පෙන්නපු box එක වෙනුවට දැන් අපිට boxes දෙකක් එනවා. ඒ boxes දෙකේ හැඩේ වෙනස්, ඉන්න විදිහ වෙනස්. මම දැන් ඒක කොහොමද වෙන්නේ කියන එක කියන්නම්. එතනදී අපේ context diagram එකේ ඉඳලා ආපු data flows සහ context diagram එකේ system එකට ගියපු data flows ටික මේ අදාළ process එකත් එක්ක connect කරගන්න ඕනේ. Now when it comes to a process has a different shape or like different components, right? Now it has three major parts. This indicates the process name. This indicates the performer of the process. It can be an individual, can be a person or department, kind of a thing. And this is called process ID. Now, in the level one, just excuse me for a moment. Right, in level 1, you can draw a process like this, the same shape, right? And you can put 1 as the process ID, right? So if you are drawing two processes, one process will be 1, the other process is going to be 2. Right, so it will have some process name, right? So according to our scenario, I'll say payment process and ordering process, right? And in our scenario, we have not specified a particular person or a department, which is where they do these payment processes, right? Like here they have take office as the department, right? So it's a one general thing, right? So you can go for something common if they haven't specified who is responsible for this particular process. Ek scenario එකෙන් ඔයගලන්ට හොයාගන්න ඕනේ. Scenario එකේ කියලා නැත්නම් ඒ detail එක. So you go for something common like office, like inventory, right? So likewise, right? So here I will say office, right? So it is like that. Now then level 1 වලට පස්සේ level 1 DFD එකට පස්සේ ඊළඟ layer එක තමයි level 2 DFD එක. Level 2 DFD එකේදී අපි කරන්නේ we consider the major processes. Now in this example, the payment process and the order process. And in case if they can decompose into other smaller processes, we are going to draw a level 2. Can make actually තවත් sub processors වලට කඩන්න පුළුවන් නම්, right? So level 1, in the level 1 DFD, one particular process will be expanded into sub processes. හිතන්නකො මේකේ දෙකක් තිබුණා කියලා. And this is going to be named as their particular names. Make ID එක, that is the important part. ID is going to be 1.1 since it is from this process 1, and this is going to be 1.2. And in case if I need to decompose the second major process, those can have the process IDs like 2.1 and 2.2 likewise, right? So on ඔය method එක මතක තියාගන්න, right? දැන් අපිට තාම අපේ syllabus එකේ lower level diagram ගැන අපිට සඳහන් කරන්න කියලා තියෙනවා, but for examination it's just context and the level 1 diagram that we received, right? In 2015-16, as you do, it's the context diagram, and 17-18-19 as well as 20, they have received the level 1 diagrams, right? And from that 17, 18 and 19, it was fill in the blanks type of a thing. But in 20, they have given you to draw a small context diagram plus small level 1, right? So okay, people just confirm me, මේක තේරුණාද? ඒ කියන්නේ මේකේ concept එක තේරුණාද? කොහොමද යන්නේ කියන එක? Yes, people? Right, great. Okay, how about others? Only 2 has confirmed. How about others?
සර් තව එකපාරක් පොඩ්ඩක් එක්ස්ප්ලেইন කරන්න පුළුවන්? මෙහෙට අර ගොරවන ගතියක් තියෙනවා හොඳ වැඩි ක්ලියර් නෑ.
කැඩි දෙන්නේ. හරි නිර්මාණ මේක අපි කතා කරේ මේ process එක ලියා ගන්න විදිහ. process එකට ID එකක් තියෙනවා, process එක කරන කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා, process එකට නමක් තියෙනවා. එතකොට ඒ process major process විදිහට තමයි අපි level 1 එකේදී divide කරගන්නේ. level 2 එකකට එන්න උනොත්, ඒ කියන්නේ level 2 එකකට එන්නේ level 1 එකේ තියෙන major process එක like අපිට further more divide කරන්න පුළුවන්, right? එහෙම divide වෙනකොට අපි ඒකේ ID එක first process එක නම් divide වෙන්නේ 1.1 1.2, second process එක නම් divide වෙන්නේ 2.1 2.2, there were a third process එහෙම නම් හැදෙන්නේ 3.1 3.2 3.3 ඒ විදිහට. and එතනදී නීතියක් නෑ හැම process එකක්ම පොඩි process වලට කැඩෙන්න ඕන කියලා. එහෙම නොකැඩෙන process තියෙන්න පුළුවන්, right? Like however, our motive is to create a process which cannot be divided further, right? ඒ කියන්නේ atomic process එක අපි එකට කියනවා elementary process එක කියලා. ඒ elementary process එක ගාවට එනකන් divisions කරගන්න එක තමයි අපේ target එක, right? මොකද elementary process එක තමයි programmers ලට බෙදලා දෙන්නේ. මෙන්න තියෙනවා units මේ system එකේ තියෙන, so you develop these elementary processes කියලා, right? ඒගොල්ලෝ ඒව තමයි program කරන්නේ. ඒට system එකක් පොඩිම කොටස් වලට බෙදලා ඉවර වෙනවා මේක ඇඳලා ඉවර වෙනකොට, right? But we are not going to that far. අපි majorly level 1 එක කොහොමද handle කරගන්න කියන එක තමයි කතා බහ කරන්නේ, right? Okay, so Now, switching back to our scenario, Nirmana, clear the? Right. Now, we have recognized there are two types of processes, like the ordering process and the payment process. Now, if we look into our context diagram, there are 6 data flows. So the same 6 data flows are now connected with the particular process. So with the ordering process, you have connected the catalog receiving data flow. Then මේක මගේ ඩයග්‍රෑම් එකේ මම වැරද්දක් කරලා තියෙනවා. මම මේ වචන ටික මැද කනෙක්ට් කරලා නැහැ. මොකද මම මේක ඉන්ටර්නෙට් වලින් අරගෙන එහෙම දාලා තියෙන එක. So ඒක image එක adjust කර යන්න ඕනේ. That is why I had this like in this manner. නමුත් මතක තියාගන්න මේක එන්න ඕනේ line එක මැද්දේ. මේ catalog order කියන වචනෙන් ඕනේ line එක මැද්දේ කියන එක. Right? So in the order process, catalog sending data flow should be connected with the ordering. මොකද catalog එක හම්බුනාම තමයි customer order කරන්නේ. So catalog data flow will be belongs to the order process, as well as sending order details from customer to the system is also category under the order process. And other things, creating the invoice, it is creating according to the payment. The invoice generate කරලා යවන්නේ payment ගැන customer ට inform කරන්න. These are the goods that you have ordered, and this is the cost that you have to spend. Right? So yeah, someone has asked me a question, but I can't see my pen. All right, Jinani, doesn't matter. මේ පැත්තලත් ගොරවනවා මම ඒක නිසා මේක කතා කරලා අද session එක හිමින් සැරේ end කරනවා. දුව අන්තිමට recording එකකින් refer කරන්න. Right, so invoice and the receipts. Invoice, receipt, and the delivery note. Those are there regarding the payments. Right? So invoice firstly inform what the customer is going to get and how much he needs to pay. And the delivery note indicates what are the goods that are being delivered. And payment, of course, it's regarding the payment process. And receipt is received due to the payment process. Right? So those 4 data flows are goes with the payment process. Hari, data flows ටික decompose උනේ කොහොමද කියන එක ගැටලුවක් නෑ නේද? ගොඩක් කට්ටිය ලීව් වෙලා තියෙනවා මම හිතන්නේ මේ අකුණු ගහන එක සම්බන්ධයෙන්. හරි අපි මේක ක්ලියර්ද? මේක ක්ලියර් නම් අපි අදට පොඩ්ඩක් මෙතනින් නතර කරමු. ගොඩක් කට්ටිය සෙෂන් එකේ නැති නිසා. Right?
සර් දැන් ඉවරයි නේද? මෙහෙටත් අකුණු ගහනවා.
හරි පුතේ අපි හිමීට නම් මේව කරමු. ඊළඟ දවසේ කතා කරමු. No problem. අපි දැනට පොඩ්ඩක් කොහොම තියාගෙමු. Right, okay. හරි good night. කට්ටිය ලීව් වෙන්න කමක් නැහැ. මෙහෙටත් පොඩ්ඩක් තන්රිම් වැඩි.